Called a real-life invisible man, meticulously painted to blend into his surroundings and then photographed, renowned Chinese artist Liu Bolin seems to disappear right before your eyes. Well, now Bolin has joined up with Harper's Bazaar to transform some celebrated designers in a similar fashion. Well, earlier we spoke with one of his subjects, Italian designer Angela Missoni, about what it was like to work with him.
I'm Angela Missoni. I'm in Paris shooting with Liu Bolin.
Actually, before this story he did for Bazaar, he always just painted himself. He never painted somebody else. So I really felt very honored that he painted me. They put me in front of this Missoni piece of fabric. So I said, how long do I have to stand? And they said, oh my God, it's going to be like 7-8 hours. Because at the end, we finished, it was almost 1 o'clock at night. And they wanted to put something on my hair to cover all the hair so that they could paint the hair too. And I said, no, I need to have my hair. I need to see something of myself. And the fact that we were painted to disappear, this was the nice part. It was like to be naked, right? It's like if you can walk around naked.
These photos are truly amazing. Well, our next guest, she's not walking around naked, we can assure you of that. She does have her clothes on. Laura Brown is Features and Special Projects Director for Harper's Bazaar, and I believe that the March issue is out now. And that's where you can read about these amazing Liu Bolin transformations. Laura, great to have you with us. I mean, so many people are familiar with Liu's work, but typically it's Liu who is actually in these photographs. How did this collaboration come about?
Exactly. I just was lucky enough. I was in Stockholm actually in early September, and I saw an exhibition of his at a gallery there, and I was blown away, and I'd never seen all of his work together. And so in the spirit of optimism and art and fashion, I found his gallery at Eli Klein and said, what would you think if Liu Bolin painted some people other than himself and painted some of the greatest designers in fashion? So luckily enough, he agreed because he saw the allure of other sorts of creative people, and he was really fascinated by Western fashion and Western brands and what it means in the East. So he said yes, and off we went on our trek to Paris.
I mean, in some of these photographs, you really need to study, you know, and find where the designer is situated. It's really quite clever. Let's take a look at designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, who's posing amid his signature stripes. I mean, he's never been afraid to be outrageous. What was it like to work with him?
God bless Jean-Paul Gaultier. He's so up for everything. And no, because what we wanted to do is, like, we identified the signature of each designer. So Angela Missoni has her squiggles, and Jean-Paul has his stripes. And so we built a set. We tacked everything on to the back of the set. And the poor man, he stood there for about 2.5 hours, and we had to give him, Liu Bolin had to give him a Chinese massage of his legs for a minute. But he really understands the connection of pop culture and fashion better than so many other designers, and he was just thrilled with the results, and it looks incredible, as you see.
It does look incredible, and I love this video, seeing how it takes place over those hours. It's a really
that's kind of in fast forward
at the process.
It was in real time. You would like, it's like watching paint dry, literally.
I bet. Now let's show our audience Lanvin's Albert Elbaz, and this is really quite striking, isn't it? Because his entire body, even his glasses have been painted.
Even his glasses, and he still has little bits of paint in his glasses. I feel bad. But Albert, yeah, he was like, I mean, his dresses are his signature, these wonderful jewel-toned dresses. But he was like, he's smart. He's a smart man, Albert. He was like, can I sit down for this? And we're like, okay, you know. And so, but and then the joy of it is after the painting's done, the actual process of taking the picture is incredibly quick. It's like 4 or 5 minutes, and then you're done, and then everybody's like, thank you, you know what I mean? But they really understood that this artist is so important, and everybody's like, can I have a picture? You know, everybody really, it's hard. Designers are very busy. It's before the fashion shows. Nobody has a lot of time, and to get them to really give their time, they knew it was something really important and valuable.
All right, let's look at the picture now with the Valentino designers. Tell us about this one.
Okay, these are the two relatively new designers of Valentino after Valentino retired, Maria Grazzi and Pierpaolo. And I think this one is amazing because you can barely see Pierpaolo on the right there. And this is the idea with Valentino is the signature of Valentino for many years has been red dresses. And so that's the iconography of the house and something that these two designers have very much made their own in the time there. So they jumped as soon as they had the chance to do this. And sometimes we could paint some of the clothing in a little bit in advance, so they didn't have to stand up the whole time. So we did that in this one. So it was slightly shorter, but behind the scenes pictures of them covered in face paint is kind of amazing. Their staff just couldn't believe it. They're great.
You must be very proud. I mean, this really is a beautiful body of work, isn't it?
It's really, I know, it's one of those things when it's the best that you can achieve working in a fashion magazine, and I think the symbiosis between fashion and art is so strong, and if we're lucky just to be able to capture a little bit of it as we were